Welcome. We are from the Joyful Readers of Creativity Volunteer Program, a part of the China Innovative Inspirational Organization. Today we will be reading The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. I'm Everett and I will be the narrator.
I am Hannah and I will be the Winsler.
I am Josh and I'll be the Lorax. Please enjoy the story.
At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough you can still see, today, where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Wuncler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Wuncler. Don't knock on his door. He stays in this lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grivelous glove. Then he grunts.
I will call you by whisper, ma phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone.
Slup, down slups the whisper ma phone to your ear, and the old Wuncler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose.
Now, I'll tell you,
He says, with his teeth sounding gray,
how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the songs of the Sunway swans ran out in space. One morning, I came to see this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees, I saw brown barred baloots, frisking about in their barn baloo suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh buttery milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knit it a need. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of a stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy.
Mister,
He said with a sawdusty sneeze,
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sit at the top of my lungs.
He was very upset as he shouted and puffed.
What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft?
Look, Lorax, I said. There's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed of fine something. that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said,
Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that fool to need.
But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For, just at that minute, a chap came along. And he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy.
I repeat,
Cried the Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and, in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for a whole Once-There family to get might rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Niche, turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Once-There family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how many businesses did grow? Now, chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So, I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore.
What an interesting story, right? On to some discussion questions. Do you think that the Onceler's actions make sense? Why do you think the Lorax got worried when the Onceler cut down the truffle trees? What might happen to the environment where the Onceler lives?
Moving on to the vocabulary review section, the first word is radio. The Chinese translation of this word is 收音机, and it is a machine that broadcasts news, songs, or information. An example of this word in a sentence is, Zach was listening to the radio while doing his homework. The second vocabulary word is strange. The Chinese translation of this word is 奇怪, and it is something that is unusual or hard to understand. An example of this word in a sentence is, the tomato that Maria used to cook spaghetti with tasted strange. The third vocabulary word is pond. The Chinese translation of this word is 池塘, and it is a natural or man-made body of water. An example of this word in a sentence is, there are many ducks swimming in the pond. The fourth vocabulary word is silk. The Chinese translation of this word is 丝, and it is a smooth fabric made by silkworms. An example of this word in a sentence is, the curtains in our home are made of silk. The last vocabulary word is knitting. The Chinese translation of this word is 针织, and it is to make a fabric by weaving together materials. An example of this word in a sentence is, John's grandmother was knitting while watching television.
The Joyful Readers of Creativity channel was founded by the China Innovative Inspiration Organization and integrates caring volunteers from all social backgrounds to contribute their voices in order to light up the world of less fortunate children, sending a message of love and warmth using our angelic voices. If you are willing to take part in blessing the children's growth, whether you're a linguistics professional or just a student, all are welcome to join us as a reader.